On Breeze TV.
Families reflect on healing after a loss.
And Breeze TV traveled through Virginia to hear from notable political figures.
Then, basketball shoots for an NCAA bid in the Sun Belt Conference tournament.
Plus, 2 alumni make a donation to strengthen the future for first-generation Dukes.
All this and more coming up today on Breeze TV.
Live from the Allison B. Parker Studio in the School of Media Arts and Design at James Madison University, this is Breeze TV.
Welcome back to Breeze TV. I'm Maggie Rickerby.
And I'm Eric Shellhouse. After the fatal car crash that killed 3 JMU students, executive editor Zia Vakiri traveled and spoke with the families on their loss.
It's been 1 month since the car accident that killed 3 JMU students. Their names are Nicholas Troutman, Joshua Martis, and Luke Ferguson. For the past 4 weeks, these 3 families have been coping with the tragedy while trying to celebrate their sons' lives. I had the chance to hear their reflections on the sons and brothers they lost.
Nicholas loved being goofy, rapping, playing air guitar, dancing. Was he great at any of this stuff? Maybe not so much.
He'd come home from school. Liza, who always got very excited for him to come home, would just immediately start telling him. He'd literally drop his bags on the floor, and Liza would go, "Okay, time for us to go to somewhere, want to cook out, Starbucks or anything like that," and just.
I think the thing that Josh was just very resilient, very kind. He never gave up.
But Nicholas never worried about what other people thought. He didn't care if you were laughing with him or at him. He just did what he loved, and he loved to make people laugh.
He would do it anyway. Even if he was dead tired, he just would say, "Okay, yeah, let's go do this."
Learning the kind of young man that Joshua had become and was becoming has brought such a wonderful sense of peace to us because, boys don't talk so much. So things that have been shared from his friends and from the JMU community have made us so really, really proud of him.
I mean, it was just the worst thing ever. It wasn't even something I ever imagined could happen. I thought about really a lot of bad things happening, but it was never something that crossed my mind that I was gonna lose my brother.
It's a lot to take. Certain days were just unbearable, and others.
Knowing that he's not going to be at my wedding, and he's not going to be a groomsman at my wedding, just knowing that I'm an only child kind of now, it's just weird to think, all of these things that he's supposed to be a part of. I don't get to be an aunt to his kids.
Keep the Fergusons, Troutmans, and Martises together for a while. But now we share this forever.
If you or anyone you know needs mental health resources, use the following links. Maggie and Eric, back to you.
Thank you, Zia. City Council approved the controversial Bluestone Town Center project in a 3-2 vote. Though all 5 council members support affordable housing, Mayor Dina Reed and Councilman Chris Jones voted against the project due to its size and local impact. The 900-unit affordable housing project will be built on the corner of Garber's Church Road and Erickson Avenue. Construction is expected to begin in 2024 and take 8 to 10 years to complete.
Sun Belt Conference tournament play is underway for JMU as women's basketball defeated Marshall 62-43 in the quarterfinals earlier today. The Dukes were powered by a strong first quarter, outscoring the Thundering Herd by 8. JMU had 13 assists compared to only 4 for Marshall and out-rebounded the Herd by 9. The team made 9 three-pointers in the win. Kiki Jefferson, Ksenia Koslova, and Jamia Hazel all scored in double figures. The Dukes advanced to the semifinals, which are set to take place on Sunday at 12:30 p.m. and will play the winner of the Troy vs. Old Dominion matchup. It's been a big week in politics. Political correspondent Regine Arnazari has the latest. Regine?
Thanks, Eric.
President Joe Biden made a visit to the Commonwealth this week to emphasize the importance of affordable health care. Although Biden's trip was met with controversy, the president was still welcomed by a warm crowd. Our politics team traveled to Virginia Beach to provide firsthand coverage of the event.
If mega Republicans try to take away people's health care by gutting Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act, I will stop them.
President Joe Biden traveled to Virginia Beach this past Tuesday to deliver remarks regarding his plan for more affordable health care. Attendees highlighted their experience with high health costs in a turbulent economy.
You can get insurance, but it costs you so much to have stuff that you kind of decide, do I pay for medicine or do I pay for rent and food?
The president is currently under pressure from Republicans who are threatening to not raise the debt limit unless he agrees to sharp budget cuts. Although the GOP has not outlined their specific proposals, Biden insists that Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act will be vulnerable to such cuts.
President Biden and the Democrats has to continue to speak for the people and put people over corporations. That's something here in the state of Virginia, as a senator, Democrats are looking forward to do, especially when you have a governor who is trying to give more tax cuts to corporations over the people. Democrats put people first.
Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin criticized Biden's visit to the Commonwealth, saying he should prioritize visiting residents affected by the toxic train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. Others believe the president's response has been sufficient.
The president has offered all the federal resources that Ohio needs. So I think that, the administration is standing behind Ohio and the areas of West Virginia and Pennsylvania that could also be impacted by the train derailment.
President Biden also announced that his budget proposal will include some higher taxes, but vowed to cut the deficit by more than $2 trillion over 10 years.
On March the 9th, I'm going to lay down in detail every single thing, every tax that's out there that I'm proposing, and no one over making less than $400,000 is going to pay a penny more than taxes.
Although today's event was intimate, many were able to come together today to express their concerns over rising healthcare costs. Reporting for Breeze TV, I'm Regine Arnazari.
Ukrainians in Harrisburg gathered on Thursday to talk about the war in Ukraine a week after its one-year anniversary. In front of Memorial Hall, both local Ukrainians and Ukrainian refugees spoke to the media about the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine, calling on the community to help in any way they can by contacting their local congressman and donating.
You're already being supported, like a lot of churches around here, doing events just to collect money and send to refugees. And we have few families of refugees here, and which you accepted, guys, so I'm very thankful for that. And I know we people cannot do much, we cannot stop the war, but be like awareness about the war, like educate yourself about what's going on.
Ukrainians also spoke about their families that are still living in Ukraine now and how difficult it is for them with Russia's armed forces as a constant threat.
It's hard, and like we mentioned earlier, it is you kind of living with guilt, that you are here and you're alive and you can enjoy life, and people there, like my own family, they have to live through this horrific event.
If you would like to help Ukrainian refugees, you can donate at www.sccharrisonburg.com. Stay with us as we'll have more on politics when we come back.
Bojangles, Cajun filet biscuit. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Breakfast so good, we serve it all day. Get the best chicken biscuit. The one, the only Cajun filet biscuit. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. The one, the only Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit is so good, we serve it all day. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Tailgating is a song, heard across campuses, parking lots, and open fields. They say this song can be heard elsewhere, and perhaps this is true. But it is nowhere near as bright, nowhere near as loud, nowhere near as triumphant as it is right here. Tailgating may not have been born here, but here is where tailgaters are born.
This is Breeze TV.
Governor Glenn Youngkin has been making headlines lately as the second governor to review College Board's AP African American Studies course. Numerous school boards across Virginia have spoken out against the review. The matter has yet to be discussed in Harrisonburg City or Rockingham County.
Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin has asked for a review of College Board's AP African American Studies course to see if it violates the governor's first executive order, which bans the teaching of critical race theory and, quote, inherently divisive concepts. The matter has raised questions of the potential blocking of similar courses.
Are we also going to be looking at AP European history? Are we also going to be evaluating AP US history? When does that line stop when we start evaluating these classes based on your own political gain? And that's exactly what we're seeing here with the executive orders, among other things.
Virginia is the second state to review the course after Florida Governor Ron DeSantis blocked the class a month ago, saying it lacks educational value. Arkansas, North Dakota, and Mississippi have followed suit in reviewing the class.
I don't think you can know American history without knowing all of our history, the good and the bad. And for you to heal as a country, you also have to learn as a country. The only way you learn from a country is you learn where we have failed. That doesn't mean you focus entirely on that, but you have to learn where we fail. So nobody's saying in any way we don't learn all of our history. But there are, I think, some concerns about that course with some of the more heavily Marxist theories that were laid forth in the course in Florida. I think that's what the governor's concern was.
The review has sparked concern among school boards in the Commonwealth, as it is still unclear if the course can be taught should it be banned. The Virginia NAACP released a statement condemning Youngkin's review of the course, citing it as an attempt to erase the history and experiences of Black people.
When you start suggesting that we need to apportion knowledge in ways that protect people, you are weakening the intellectual musculature that we all need to imagine a better civic structure, which is supposedly the purpose of teaching American history in the first place.
Reporting for Breeze TV, I'm Regine Aranazari.
Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders traveled to the University of Virginia yesterday to promote his book, It's Okay to Be Angry About Capitalism. Senator Sanders discussed his book and current priorities with CBS political correspondent Robert Costa. Our reporter Sam Game has more on this event.
In an event that sold out in 2 minutes, Senator Bernie Sanders spoke about his new book, It's Okay to Be Angry About Capitalism, at UVA. With a line wrapping around Old Capitol Hall, Sanders was met with an auditorium filled with students.
Thank you very much.
Senator Sanders opened the event by speaking about his grievances with the 1% of America, which he says is further detailed in his book.
When you have 3 people in America owning more wealth than the bottom half of American society, when you have massive concentration of ownership, do we have a ruling class in America?
According to Sanders, the book also covers several current issues, from economic to environmental.
If we can increase military spending this year by $80 billion, you know what we can do? We can cancel all student debt in this country and give young people the opportunity to get on with their life. Which crime is worse? The kid who walks into the 7-Eleven and robs it? Or people who knowingly are destroying the planet for short-term profits?
Sanders closed the event with a call to action for the college students right in front of him.
You're the future of America, man, and we need you. We need you to help rebuild this country.
If, young people today actually seriously mobilize themselves politically, then they could be very essential in decisively pushing for more progressive legislation.
When I look around to people that are our age group, I think that we're going to be the most successful generation in history. We've gone through a lot over the last few years. We're extremely smart, we're extremely talented. I think we'll be able to get things done. There's no better generation to do it than us.
Reporting for Breeze TV from the University of Virginia, this is Sam Game.
For more on what's happening outside of the Valley, here's Eleanor Shaw with your national news rundown.
Thanks, Regine. First up,
Fox News v. Dominion is set to be one of the most consequential First Amendment cases in a generation. Dominion claims Fox News' coverage of the 2020 election negatively impacted their company and democracy. Dominion says Fox News provided a platform to conspiracy theories, asserting the election was stolen from former President Donald Trump, creating a reputation of trust for Dominion. Another prominent lawsuit has found its way into headlines. The Supreme Court is currently hearing a case determining the constitutionality of President Biden's student debt forgiveness plan. As it stands now, the Supreme Court case is skeptical of Biden's efforts' legality. Uncertainty spreads to the Commonwealth as Virginia General Assembly grapples with budgeting problems. The Assembly has not agreed upon changes to their budget. Meanwhile, the Assembly has tried to compensate for a $201 million shortage in funding for public schools with a 2-year spending plan. That's everything from me. Maggie and Eric, back to you.
Thanks, Eleanor. The First Generation Student Center gains a new name after alumni donated over $1 million. The Reddick Center offers resources for students entering higher education for the first time in their family. Let's explore how this donation will benefit students. Alumni Angela and Carl Reddicks named the Reddick Center when they donated $1.1 million to fund scholarships for first-generation students. Janiyah Hill, a first-generation junior, said that the donation was the extra push the center needed.
I expected someone to donate to the center at some point, but when I found out it was a Black woman, for me personally, that was such an inspiration. Like, you're a first-gen student, Janiyah, so was Mrs. Reddicks. You're going to do great things just like her. It was almost like it gave me someone to look up to.
The Reddick Center offers workshops and resources for students entering college for the first time in their family. Sean Mooney, the executive director for First Generation Success, said that the center provides community.
We want students to feel like they belong at the university and that they have a place here and that their experience is not unique, that there are many students who might feel that way or have that same experience.
Mooney said that the donation will provide more access to first-generation students. Junior Sid Jones said that although her journey has not been easy, she has developed a lot of confidence and visibility for herself.
I feel like the experience I've had as a first-generation student here is paving the way for me in the future, and I feel like I can do a lot for other people as well.
The Reddick Center is open to any students looking for resources to further their education and career after college. Reporting for Breeze TV, I'm Maggie Rickerby. When we come back,
baseball rides their early season winning streak into a weekend matchup.
And a Sun Belt title is on the line for JMU basketball.
Then, lacrosse shell shocks the Terps in an early season upset.
Stay tuned.
Bojangles, Cajun filet biscuit. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Breakfast so good, we serve it all day. Get the best chicken biscuit. The one, the only Cajun filet biscuit. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. The one, the only Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit is so good, we serve it all day. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Tailgating is a song heard across campuses, parking lots, and open fields. They say this song can be heard elsewhere, and perhaps this is true, but it is nowhere near as bright, nowhere near as loud, nowhere near as triumphant as it is right here. Tailgating may not have been born here, but here is where tailgaters are born.
This is Breeze TV.
Baseball rides a 4-game win streak into a 3-game series against the University of Massachusetts Lowell after defending home field against Cornell University and George Washington University in dramatic fashion. Following 11-5 and 9-2 victories last Friday and Saturday, the Dukes were down to their final out on Sunday, trailing 5-3 against Cornell. With 2 outs and the bases loaded, sophomore Fenwick Trimble delivered a walk-off grand slam to give the Dukes a series sweep. Coach Marlon Eichenberry spoke on the team's early defining moment.
Well, I think it's a kid's dream to hit a walk-off grand slam, and you practice it all the time in the backyard playing wiffle ball, and have it come to fruition with Fenwick was special.
On Tuesday, Trimble added another home run in a 10-8 comeback victory against George Washington. His solo shot in the 6th inning was the first of 5 unanswered runs in his 3rd home run of the season. Kevin Scully picked up his 2nd win of the season, and Liam Grubbs secured his 1st save. Today's series opener against University of Massachusetts Lowell has been postponed, with a doubleheader scheduled for 1 p.m. tomorrow and a series finale on Sunday. For more on sports, we'll now throw it over to Colby Reese. Colby?
Thank you, Eric. Both the men's and women's basketball programs received Sun Belt honors earlier this week. Terrence Edwards earned the 6th Man of the Year award after putting up 13 points and 5 assists per game. The redshirt sophomore shot over 50% from the field and 44% on 3-pointers this season. He was also named 2nd team All-Sun Belt. On the women's side, Payne McDaniel won the 6th Woman of the Year. She averaged 11 points per game and had 10 games this season where she made 3 or more 3-pointers. The biggest honor was Kiki Jefferson earning Sun Belt Player of the Year. Head coach Shauna Reagan talked about what this moment means for Jefferson in her final season of collegiate basketball.
She was thrilled. And I know she's not just chasing an individual award, right? She's all about winning, but it's a cool honor for her to be recognized as the best player in the league. And that's what she is.
The senior guard averaged 18 points and 8 rebounds per game. She also scored 20-plus points in 14 games and recorded 9 double-doubles this year. In addition, she was added to the 1st team All-Sun Belt to her stacked resume from this season. While the women tipped off their tournament play earlier today, the men are set to take on Troy tomorrow at 3 p.m. in the quarterfinals. After a season of up and downs, the team knows they're ready for the big moment. With JMU season now win or go home, head coach Mark Byington wants to keep the message simple for his players.
Biggest mistake in a tournament is you look at the end. You got to just make it a 1-game season. And there's 6 or 7 teams that I know got a legitimate chance to win it. The good thing is we're one of those 6 or 7 teams.
Going into the tournament, the team realizes that one aspect of the game is crucial to leading them to a championship.
Our defense has got to be unbelievable.
Whoever plays the best defense usually wins.
The team finished with a 6-3 road record in conference play. The keys to success in those matchups are what the group hopes to carry into the tournament.
Just do your job. Do what you're supposed to do in that moment. Understand the details of the game. Be locked in. Don't think about things that aren't in that possession. And that's the same philosophy we had on the road during the year. Same philosophy we're going to have in the tournament.
Playing in a neutral site with limited fans can be difficult for any team, but the Dukes believe they have what it takes to overcome that challenge in Florida.
We want our guys to have unconditional energy no matter what. Hopefully a staple of our program, and we're going to need it this weekend too.
JMU opens play on March 4th and will look to reach their season goal of a Sun Belt title with the championship game set to take place on Monday, March 6th at 7 p.m. Reporting from AUBC alongside Ellie Fenza for Breeze TV, this is Colby Reese. 238 free throws, 23,800 meals. This is how men's basketball can create change in their community. So, how did the Dukes do it? With every successful free throw made at home, Food Lion pledged to donate 100 meals to the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank through the Score to Give More program. Frank Chicatano, the manager of business development for JMU Athletics, says his team partners with many donors who wish to benefit others in the community.
Providing somebody a platform to highlight their philanthropic efforts and associating that with JMU, and really just it's a real big comprehensive partnership where there's a lot of layers to it, but people really value the opportunity to tell the story about the impact that they like to make.
The team shot 72% from the line at home this season, and each one had a bigger impact than just a point. Chicatano says with other programs like the Sack to Give Back or the Teddy Bear Toss, JMU Athletics continues to give back to the community that gives them so much. JMU lacrosse played its first home game this season against the 5th-ranked team in the country on Wednesday. The game was competitive, ending with the Dukes on top 8-7. Our assistant news director Moses Harris and reporter Ellie Fenza show us what happened on the field.
JMU lacrosse faced off against number 5 Maryland this Wednesday at Centerra Park, with their first game at home since joining the AAC conference. The team was looking for another win against the Terps after defeating them last season on the road. Redshirt senior goalie Kat Buchanan spoke on the team's mindset heading into this game.
We know what they bring. They're an incredible team, incredible program. But we know what we're going to see. It's just a matter of preparation, and I think the coaches put us in a really great spot today.
Head coach Shelly Clace describes the key factors they emphasized going into this game.
Put a lot of focus in on fundamentals, having good spacing, just really valuing our shots.
Senior midfielder Lily Boswell and redshirt junior attacker Isabella Peterson both stood out on the offensive end, with 2 goals each holding the lead against the Terps throughout the game.
But luckily, our offense kept putting it away when needed. I think we just kept each other in the game.
We got our composure. We did a much better job securing possession and capitalizing on the attacking end. You're going to have to be able to have the 6 skills to match your athleticism.
With the win, the team is focused on staying tight and embracing their togetherness.
It's really happy. It's a happy environment, happy team. We have a long way to go, but this locker room's not one of them. The group of girls is something you die to play for. So it's a great group, and it makes it easy to win.
Buchanan ultimately closed out the win for the Dukes with her 10 saves. But throughout the game, she says,
I think a lot of girls stepped up. It's a day-to-day process. We'll enjoy this one today. Tomorrow we got work to do.
The Dukes take on unranked Ohio State this Saturday, home at 12 p.m., hoping to grow their win streak to 5. Reporting from Centerra Park, this has been Ellie Fenza and Moses Harris on Breeze TV.
That's all from the world of sports. Back to you guys at the main desk.
Thanks, Colby. As we wrap up our show, we'd like to say a special goodbye to our sound guy, Liam Booker. Thank you for your hard work and dedication each Friday to keeping Breeze TV in check. We'll miss your pre-show playlist almost as much as we're going to miss you. We wish you the best of luck with your short film, and for those watching, you can support student filmmakers by checking out SMADFest at the end of the semester. Thank you, Liam, for being so welcoming from the first day I walked in the studio, and we love you.
Yeah, we'll definitely miss you, Liam. You've definitely been a great addition to our team. But do you know what this month is, Eric?
I do. Do you know what this month is?
Yeah, it's Women's History Month. We have a number of amazing women in this organization that I just wanted to shout out. And I also wanted to shout out all of our SMAD 101ers that got into SMAD today. Congratulations to all of you. You've worked really hard to get to this point, and I can't wait to work with you more here at Breeze TV.
Yeah, big shout out to my roommate, Christian, journalism concentration. I better see you around here now, man.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time, same time, same place.